Almost forgot I needed the tablet here. It's been so long since I've done a live. Okay, I gotta get over my own ads here. So today, what I'm doing is normally I do this on a Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, some food prep for the week. So I'm gonna show you what I got. I've got lots of chicken breast here. I have about a pound. Show you what I got. I got some sweet Italian sausage, some pork chops, and some ground beef. The ground beef, the bacon, and the sweet Italian sausage will be mixed together for my meat taco. Well, I call it meat casserole. I've done the meat casserole a few ways, just the meat, and then sometimes with the meat, I'll put in some cream cheese, 4 to 8 ounces depending on how big it is. I'll also put in some, dice up a little bit of peppers, onions, and things like that. But remember, they do have natural sugars in them, so I try to keep that at a minimum. But I don't have any, so today I'm using some Rotel. But what I will do with the Rotel is after I open the can, I'll pour all the juice out to kind of reduce that, because otherwise the meat itself doesn't have any carbs. All the carbs are coming from this can, and the whole can has, and I forgot what it is, it's 2.5 servings, so 12.5 carbs for the full can. However, the amount of meat casserole I'm making is 6 to 8 servings. So you take that 12.5 divided by 6 to 8, and then other things like the cream cheese and some of the other things and the regular cheese, it's about 3.8 carbs per serving. Again, that's based on 6 ounces per serving, because I'll divide that up into Tupperware. So right now what I'm going to do is prep the chicken. Now I've done the chicken a couple of different ways. I'll use this Cajun spice. I don't know if you can see that well. But, and then sometimes I just do salt, pepper, and garlic powder. It really depends how I feel about it at the time. Lately this week I ran out of chicken early, so I was literally having like 5 to 6 cups of salad. Now to put that in perspective, it would be a heaping plate like this. Without the chicken, it wasn't enough to fill me, because that's only, with all that salad, it's only like 80 calories or something like that. The carbs are quite high, like 15 carbs, but there's like 12 grams of fiber or so. So it's really a net 3 of carbs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to prep the chicken here. And I got 2 pans preheating. This is actually a brand new pan. I just bought it. This is my old one. The nonstick coating after like 15 years is done. So this was on sale for like 10 bucks, I think. And it's supposed to be a good nonstick, so I can cook multiple things at once here. No air fryer today, so I know that's going to disappoint people, but when I just do this bulk cooking, I got to tighten this up a little bit, sorry. When I do this bulk cooking, it's really hard to use the air fryer for that. I need an oven. In this case, I'm going to use the pan because it does a pretty good job, because the pan I'm using has those sear bumps in it. So first things first is I'm going to oil this down. This oiler is terrible. Don't buy one. I just use it because I have it, and I don't want to use this here because it's $5 for 2 cans. So I use this sprayer. That's the only thing I found that this sprayer is good for, is to just to get really poorly done. Now this pan is starting to warm up pretty quick, sitting on top of that other one that's pre-warming. I want to have this warm up so you wouldn't be sitting here watching a pan get warm. So we need to oil the other side here. And this is extra virgin olive oil. Usually the people say the better oils to use are Evo, or, again, extra virgin olive oil, or use some avocado oil. Avocado oil, or avocados in general, never appealed to me, simply because I don't like the way they look. But I tried an avocado for the first time recently, and it actually has no taste. It has the texture of artichokes, which I liked. So I'm just gonna do some salt here on these. Some pepper here. And I'm going to do a pinch of granulated garlic. And by pinch, I mean I'm just going to wish it on there. And I'm going to turn this all over again. And again, the chicken is getting warm because the pan underneath is heating up nice. You can already tell the chicken is turning colors because it's on a warm pan. And you know what? I know I put salt and pepper on that one side, but for the hell of it, I'm gonna do a half and half. I'm gonna put some of this Cajun, and I really don't like spicy food in general. However, when you're restricting your diet, sometimes some of these other flavors start to appeal to you again. This may look like a lot, so it'll be a little on the spicier side, but I'm okay with that. All right, put that aside. Salt and pepper. Take this pan out of the way for a second. Hopefully it's not too hot. And I'm hoping that you can see this pan pretty well. And I'm going to have to do this in a couple of batches, so you know what? Just to be on the safe side, I am going to oil this pan because it will stick just a little bit if I'm not careful. Grab one of the bigger pieces here. Hey, Jack. Okay. And the chicken I'm going to put aside somewhere where the dog won't get to it. Alright, and here's my new pan, in case you didn't see it. It was on sale at BJ's for 10 bucks. My favorite KitchenAid 10-inch pan. The coating finally came off. And this is the first 10-inch pan I've come across that actually my KitchenAid cover fits on, so that's why I like this one. And I'd have to keep an eye on that chicken there. But for this, I got sausage here, and what I'm going to do is cut open the casing so I can do it like a ground sausage. So just I'll chisel that up a little bit. I'm trying to be quick because I want to keep an eye on that chicken. There we go. What I guess I could have did was cut open two of them and then showed you cutting open the third, but that's okay. You could also you could use any meat you want. I'm just using the sweet Italian sausage. I have 3 here. Usually I use 2. The sweet Italian sausage can be strong in that taco casserole. So, you know, substitute is needed. If you want to use ground chicken, use ground chicken. But I'm Italian. Sweet Italian sausage, why not? Break this up a little bit, and then we go rinse my hands quick. Alright, hopefully everybody can hear me okay. Got 8 people on. I got this taco meat masher here. I've only used this pan once, and I tried it with eggs, because they say eggs is like one of the best things to try a non-stick pan with. Or at least that's what I heard. How true or not it is, I don't know. I'm going to turn on the heat a little bit on the sweet Italian sausage. I got it at a medium low right now. have you take a look at that chicken there. And I'm just gonna take a deep. Hey Kirby, good morning. Gonna let this sit an extra minute, and I'll flip it over. These are thin. I prefer more the tenderloin style. However, the thin cooks really quickly on the stove like this, so that's why I'm doing it. And for those of you just joining, one side, it didn't matter. I was going to do half one way, half the other, but like half salt and pepper and half with Cajun. But I ended up putting everything on it, and it's just this Cajun bayou. This is going to cook up pretty quickly here, sweet Italian sausage. And I'll cook it at like 90% of the way, because then I'm going to be mixing it with the other meats, so I'm pre-cooking all the meats for this. And I have a full video on this taco casserole, so this is just, again, food prep and to answer any questions, people. Today I hit an all-time low. I'm not expecting to lose any more weight, but I am. In fact, usually I only have about 1,600 calories a day, give or take. The last few days I've had about 2,200, and I've increased my protein and fat intake quite a bit as well, and I'm still losing weight every day. So I might have to do not a deficit, but a keep weight. Let's flip these around. Now with the pan, I always like to check the temperature of the meat to make sure, but it's really hard to check the temperature of this thinner meat, but we'll do what we can. Cook this a little bit more, and then we'll dump it in a separate tray. And realistically, the only thing I can cook in this is the sausage, because that's the smallest amount. I'm out. Hey, Jack, thanks for stopping in. Be well, my friends. YouTube education, how you doing? So this is pretty much cooked. I can see a little pieces that aren't, but I don't want to, again, I'm going to mix this in with a lot of the other meats. So what I want to do is put this in a bowl now. And let's see where I can't do this off so I don't make a mess. Usually I'll put a paper towel underneath here to capture all the grease, but I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's pretty lean, this sausage. Dropped a piece of sausage on the floor. The dog is going to be very happy with me. Okay, let's turn off the stove on this side. Here we go. There's my sweet Italian sausage. And there's my chicken. And in the distance is the bacon, which I got to cut up. Originally I used to cut the bacon after I cooked it. Now I do it beforehand because it makes the most sense. And the chicken's probably going to be ready shortly, so let me just check this quick. Then I can put my other pan and get the ground beef ready. We're at about 100 and, it's still rising, 160 degrees. So this might actually already be ready to come off. Yeah. Yep, this is good. All right. The plate's going to be easier for me to do this. I'm actually going to get a clean pair of tongs for the cooked food. I don't want to contaminate when I got 4 different things cooking at once. Okay, so there is... gotta figure out where to put this so it doesn't get contaminated. There is the first batch of chicken. And I've got the second batch right here. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my Instagram page and Facebook page. The links should be in the description. I haven't done a live in a while, but I decided to today get those going. Alright, let's see if we can't reach that over there. And I'm just going to cut these into pieces. This knife was for my brother. I forget where he got it, but I said, hey, give me one of those knives. So he did. I think I got to sharpen it. I've only sharpened this once, and it was probably close to a year ago now, I want to say. But I also, when I started cutting this, I used to separate all the pieces before throwing them in the pan, and I later found out that's really, honestly, not necessary. I'll break up a piece like this into a few blocks like that, but as you cook it, it'll be fine. I also don't cook it crispy for a couple of reasons. A, it's going to cook a little more once I mix everything together, and B, I feel when I make the taco casserole, it's better if it's not too crispy. I like it to have some crisp, but not too much. Again, personal preference. I've had it both ways. It's bacon, so, you know, that's enough about that. Unless you don't like bacon, that's a different story. I'm not sure what happened, guys, but the stream stopped. I don't know why. I didn't touch any buttons, but it did, and I apologize. I don't know what you missed, but as it is right now, I cut up the bacon. It's actually 3 pounds of bacon for 2, so it's 1.5 pounds of bacon I got there. Again, I apologize. I just cut up the bacon. There was 1 pound here. Let's see what the chicken looks like. Get ready to... I'm not sure where I lost you, so if anybody knows what the last thing it was before I lost you, please feel free to tell me where. So salt, pepper, Cajun spices, 1.5 pounds of bacon. I'm cutting it up beforehand instead of after the fact, and I just break it up into clumps because once I start to cook it, we'll do it. Again, I'm probably repeating myself, but I don't know where I lost you. I just finished cooking the sweet Italian sausage right there. So again, if you know where the signal dropped and I had to resume, feel free to chime in. So for the meat casserole, it's going to be the bacon, the sweet Italian sausage, so the 3 sausage links, which makes about 12 ounces, and then 2 pounds of ground beef right there in the corner. And we'll mix in, we'll tell because I don't have peppers and onions, and some cream cheese, like maybe 4 ounces. And then when it's all cooked, if you're going to serve it to a bunch of people, you can put any type of cheese, Mexican cheese on top, and they can pull it out with a spatula or whatever. Or I put it on after because I separate it into 6-ounce containers. You were still cutting bacon when mine stopped, so I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I looked at the screen. The thing with my phone, my Pixel, it has squeeze gestures, so when you squeeze the phone, it goes into search mode. So what could have happened when I moved the camera, it may have caused a timeout. I'm debating whether I want to cook the chicken in here or use the other pan, the bacon in here, and the ground beef. Since this is already a dirty pan, maybe I'll do that. Excuse me. I'll have to find a spot to put this pan temporarily. So the burner on the other side is too small for the for this bigger one, so I can only do this right now. I kind of lost my place here. These are thin, so they don't take long, just a couple of minutes. And like other people, I like to cook my food a little bit extra. The chicken, because I've had food poisoning before from restaurants, not from my own food, and it is not fun. So I have no problem if I cook this to an extra 5-10 degrees. But these are done. And like I said, it takes a while. These are thin, so they're quick, but it takes a while to figure out if I cook these enough, because I have to cook a few places. So, these are actually now done. Perfect. And I'll end up cutting these up in a little bit into strips for my casserole. For my chicken for the week for the salads. So here we go. I actually haven't eaten today. The only thing I had was water. Usually I fast till noon. But that's where this is, and I gotta find a place where the dog cannot get to it. And you know what? I'm not gonna use this pan. I'm gonna take this out of the way, put it in the oven, just take it out of the way. And I got this here. So what I think I may do is, since I usually save the bacon fat, is I can either cook the ground beef first or the bacon. Maybe I'll do the ground beef. I was supposed to cook it yesterday, but I ran short on time. So here's about 2 pounds of ground beef. I measured it out. I bought 6 pounds. Unwrap it. If you have questions. So let's see. Someone said you were still cutting. So thank you, Sam Pebble, for that. Slow and works great on thin. Yeah, I like the thicker tenderloins, but like I said, I had thin ones because when I make chicken parm sometimes, or chicken cutlet, excuse me, I will use the thin because it cooks up really quick in the oven. But then I started using it for my chicken, and when I go to restaurants, believe it or not, they seem to use a thinner chicken. So 2 pounds of ground beef. I am going to break it up in this pan. Now some people are going to say, you know, use grass-fed beef for keto. If those of you who don't know, we're new to my channel. I've been on dirty or semi-keto. Today, again, unintentionally, I hit an all-time low. I didn't expect to. So I've been increasing my calorie count and my fat and protein. I hit 158.8 pounds today at noon. I fasted till noon. That's what I try to do. If I'm going to have breakfast, I have breakfast for lunch or dinner. This beef, I think is it 88 or 92? I forget, to be honest. When you buy it in the ground beef in a tube at BJ's, I think it's 88, but I think this is the 92 stuff. I had about 10 people on this until I lost the signal. I hope that's not why they're gone. Not a fan of this taco thingy here. To be honest, I like using my wooden spoon. Oh, I have to say this. People are complaining. They're coming out in droves complaining about the way I pronounce Breville when I first got it. When I used to say Breville. And I got these trolls. They keep saying, you can't pronounce Andy M. I think it was. He goes, why take advice from somebody who can't even pronounce, you know, Breville? Well, I had only heard it once before I bought it from one person, and that's what I bought. If that's all you can criticize me on, is the way I pronounce Breville or Breville, then it should be a non-issue. You know, some people say car, some people say car, some people say Chevy, some people say Chevrolet. Get over it. And the guy who criticized me could have used better grammar skills, and that's coming from someone who sucks with grammar. Sorry, that was my rant for now. I think I'll start saying Breville again, just to throw particular people off. I mean, some people like, by the way, it's pronounced, you know, B-R-U-A-H, whatever. That's great. I think, Crystal. Crystal, I miss your videos. I haven't seen you online in a while. My Gadget Kitchen, I think it is, or My Kitchen Gadgets. And she mentioned to her, and that's when I realized I was saying it wrong. But the first few videos I did, I was saying Breville, not Breville. But some people, my God, they just can't get over it. Just like once in a while I catch myself saying anyways instead of anyway. There is no anyways. It's anyway. But you do stuff. My grammar sucks. Sorry. My spelling sucks. Sorry. But I show you my mistakes, and I'm telling you my mistakes. Those guys hide behind whatever. Anyway, sorry, didn't need to go on about that rant. So yeah, I hit 158.8, which means I am. Let me see if I can't. I want to get the numbers right. Let's see if it shows up. Yep, 185.6. Well, sorry, 85.6 pounds down, 158.8. And if I show you this video up. Oh, my back. I lost the feed again, which is very interesting. I have a very strong internet connection, and I keep dropping out. What's wrong with the internet today? Apologize about that. So 158.8 pounds, 85.6 pounds down. Again, I'm not intentionally trying to lose more weight. Love the meat tool. Just got mine. They should get a life. That's all I can say. Yeah, and that's what I said. So then he started going through my other comments. Let's face it, nobody reads manuals, right? So he's like, someone was very polite and says, hey, you know, you should look into the Power IQ, da-da-da, and then this NDM character's like, he can't pronounce Breville. Do you really think he read the manual? And so I replied back and says, hey, have you read the manual for your car from front to back cover before driving it? If not, you really shouldn't talk, or something like that, something to that effect. And, you know, I didn't read it, Power IQ, but I read up on Power IQ, and I went through the motions with Power IQ and did the Power IQ, and not much of a difference for me. So, and that just adds to the complication. What am I supposed to do? Show everybody who wants to cook something in here? Hey, this is how you do it. You know, I use it as a small oven and a toaster oven. Now this is just about done. You will see there are a few slightly undercooked pieces, but that's okay because I'm going to continue and mix this in. I kind of wish I had done the bacon first, to be honest. That way I could have drained the bacon easier because I want to keep some of this fat here. But now I have to drain this out somehow. So what I'm going to do is get a strainer. That's what I usually do. I got this big bowl. So I'm going to try to strain this my best I can in here and then dump the rest in that bowl. Alright, did a pretty good job of straining it. I'll put the rest of this bowl like I said I would. I kind of did this backwards and oh, I'm losing all sorts of meat here. Shame on me. That's what happens when you don't do what you used to do. But I don't know what's going on. That's the third or fourth time I've streamed today. This is getting ridiculous. My feed keeps crashing. It happened on my laptop, so maybe it's more a Google issue this morning or this afternoon. It's 2 o'clock here. There's my ground beef. And there's my pan, and what I'm going to do from a contamination standpoint, because I am going to keep the bacon grease, is I'm just going to wipe out some of this other grease here. And now we're going to do the bacon. Now usually I do my calculator, and I calculate the ingredients and everything. Problem is I'm using my calculator on my phone right now for this. So again, last time I made this, I can't remember if I had 2 pounds of ground beef or if it was 20 ounces. The numbers sound close to each other, so and I did 3 sausage links. Usually I do 2. So what I'll do is upgrade or update my ingredients to get the see if I can't get that up on the screen without anything crashing again. My Fitness Pal is what I use. I call this Mario World Famous Taco Casserole. It's obviously not world famous. I say world famous because people from around the world have probably seen my video, different countries. But again, I'm only 5,000 subscribers. And by the way, Kirby's still on there. If you haven't checked out Kirby's page, please do that. He's awesome. I believe he still does Saturday morning videos and stuff like that of food. But check it out. Great food, great presentation. Alright, so let me see if I can't get this over to here. So I'm going to go to my recipes. And I'm going to go to meat casserole with bacon, cream cheese, and Mexican cheese. Oops, that's not what I wanted. And 4 ounces of cream cheese, 18 pieces of bacon fried. So there's 18 pieces. I think if I go in there, if I tell it to edit this, you probably can't see this too well. Let's see if it allows me to edit. It's frustrating. So I don't know what was lost again last time. Again, I apologize. 4 ounces of cream cheese, 18 pieces of bacon, which should be 1.5 pounds, 12 ounces of sweet Italian sausage, 4 each, and this is before cooked. 2 pounds of ground beef, so that is 32 ounces. Colby Jack. That's because I ran out of Mexican cheese, but I do have it now. But this is based off Colby Jack, which has 1 gram of carbs per ounce, and that's what I put in, about 1 ounce of cheese for the 6 ounce serving. So it's 6 ounces per serving that I do it. Let's see, and diced green chilies. It's 1.5 cups because it's 1/2 cup per serving, 2.5 servings, so that's fine. And the only thing that's going to change here is I said 7 servings. So right now it says 2.7 grams of carbs per serving. So after I separate 6 ounces in each of the containers, I'm going to probably have 8 containers this time. So if you look, 2.7, 30, 46, if that ends up being 8, now it's 2.4, 26, 40. So you're going to see how that changes. So I'll save that because I'm guessing. All right, I know you guys want to see the bacon. And again, I apologize for the streaming issues today. I got to bring mine back up. It seemed like it happened whenever I brought the 2 devices close to each other. It's kind of interesting if that happened. So let's see what I might have missed. My internet was off all day yesterday, so it still works for me. Are you keeping the bacon fat? Yes. So let me grab my container. I actually at one point pickle jars. I already have 1 full jar, and this one's about half full. So what I do is I just stuff a paper towel in here, and then I pour the bacon fat right in there. This is what I got. Let me see what I missed. My feed keeps crashing. Yeah, Kirby, so maybe it's just a YouTube problem today. The feed is better now. I was getting the circle thing, even when I come back in. And I apologize to everybody about YouTube. NJ1, impressive weight loss. Can you tell us how much your weekly spending is for a week's worth of meals and the prep for the family? So it's really hard to say because I buy in bulk. So I'll have to get out a receipt. I don't have it for you right now, but I buy in bulk like sweet Italian sausages at BJ's and chicken and everything. And if I can get the chicken, I get it individually wrapped, like there'll be maybe 4 chicken breasts inside a package. We do go shopping once a week, but we don't buy a lot of food, because usually it's like once a month and I put everything in the freezer. I got a freezer downstairs as well. So people say keto is expensive. Well, your health is expensive too. The thing with keto is you may spend more initially, but I look at it this way. I no longer buy chips. I no longer buy cookies. I no longer snack between meals. So people say, oh, keto's more. Yeah, quality food costs more. That's the difference between going to McDonald's for a hamburger, to Uno's restaurant for a hamburger, to go grinding your own beef. One's gonna taste better. It's gonna cost more. It's what your health is worth. So yes, again, it's more expensive, sounding like a broken record. But I don't eat junk food anymore. I'm not buying junk food. And instead of eating 3 meals a day and snacking in between all the time, I went to 3 meals. Now I'm down to 2 meals. And I make sure one of those meals has a big, healthy salad. So I was just doing romaine. Then I moved to romaine with baby spinach. And now I also buy the super greens. And the super greens have, kale. So yes, I'm having kale and some of those other, like chard, I think it is called. Maybe Kirby, you can correct me on that one. And some other stuff. So I'll put, got oil on my clean shorts. So, knew I should have worn the dirty ones. A big salad, 4 or 5 cups, and then I'll put this diced chicken on it, and that fills you up. And then supper time, I eat what it is. Like day before yesterday, I had usually I get the really big ribeyes and I share it because it's too much for me to eat, and I'll cut it in half, and my wife and daughter have some and I have some. I used to buy round eye, and it's not very good. I thought it was okay until I started buying ribeye. So it's one of those things. I'm gonna move one pan out of the way so I can get ready to move some stuff out of the way. Now, what I have been doing, I think almost what's happening is when I tilt the phone, it goes into sideways mode instead, and maybe it's killing the connection. We'll see if that is true. I know I could just keep the oil in there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this right here. See, yep, I lost it. So I'm back again. And we'll spin this around. So it appears that whenever I put the phone low, I lose signal. So maybe one of my Orbeez are down, and I'm getting some skipped signal. So for this, I'm just going to put a paper towel in here. Kind of put it down and over the side because it is going to drip. There's a lot of bacon fat in here. So I just want to actually take some of it out right now, if possible. Good thing this isn't a gas stove, folks. I got bacon fat everywhere. And I'll let that drain out. I know it'll probably be okay to leave the bacon fat in there, but put this up a little bit. There's a lot in there. And I will squeeze it out and throw away the rest. Now this jar is going to be pretty hot right about now. All right. Let me clean up some of this mess here. That's the one thing. If I had used the square pan, maybe it would have went better. Here's what it is. And I'm going to wash my hands out. They're a little greasy now. Okay, let's see. Someone else commented here. Do you buy lean, thin pork chops too, like Yeah, saving up. Yes, so let me show you what I got here. That's actually 4 pork chops. 2 of them is like 3.5 ounces. I think it was, although I don't remember if it was before or after cooking. So I'll cook all 4. I'll eat 2. My wife will have 1. My daughter will have 1. Then we have some veggies or something like that as well. For those of you just joining me, here's all the chicken. There's 2, 4, 6, 8 pieces right there. I'll be slicing that up in a little bit. And the bacon is still cooking. And it seems that whenever my phone, I set it low, it ends up losing the signal. I wonder if it's a heat issue. But Kale, you could get a strike at it, I know. But I didn't say it on your page. But let me show you what it is. Oh, I actually ran out. So here's the baby spinach and the super greens. Has all that, and the reason why I'm doing it, I was talking to my brother about the oxidants and stuff like that. It's really good for you, and I've been eating that, and that could be one of the reasons why I'm overloading on salads to fill myself up. Yeah, sometimes I do wish I had something else to eat, but like yesterday, I'm supposed to have 1,600 calories to keep in my deficit. I could have 2,000 if I want to maintain my weight. But yesterday I had 2,200, so I had my salad for lunch with lots of the cheeses. And for cheese, I have some Parmesan blend. And then BJ's started carrying this a few months ago, I want to say. Shaved cheeses, different kinds. This is awesome. Now, I kind of feel guilty when I have the cheese because I end up having like anywhere from 10 to 14 servings. I say, man, that's a lot. It's not though. It's only like 12 servings is like 2 ounces of cheese, you know? Yeah, it's 2 ounces of cheese, but, This I'm going to allow cook just a little bit longer. I'm going to turn up the heat so we can speed this up. There's actually not much left of bacon fat to drain in here. So, sand pebble, yes. So I am going to keep a little grease in here. The thing with the grease is when I usually don't eat this when it's hot. I separate it out in the 6-ounce containers, as I mentioned. And of course, we lost signal yet again. Yes, the bacon grease is yummy. However, since I usually don't eat it after I cook it, like 6-ounce servings I do. If there's leftover, like a few ounces, I'll just eat what's there. But after you refrigerate it and you go to reheat it, it's kind of a little funky. But I'll probably leave some of this bacon fat in here, yes. And what's going to happen next is I'm going to combine all my other cooked ingredients in here, which would be the sweet Italian sausage and the ground beef. And eventually I'll put a link in the description for my other, but I also pre-make a big batch of my taco seasoning, and the reason being is after I started reading the ingredients, the taco seasoning you buy off the shelf has a lot of carbs because they add a lot of sugars. So when I make mine, I don't add any sugars, so it reduces the carbs by like a couple per serving, that is. So I actually have to make more because it looks like it's running low. Or you can put like a 1/4 cup in here, depending how fancy schmancy you like it. Now you do have a choice. Sometimes when you're making taco meat, you add like a 2/3 cup of water with the seasoning. But if I leave a little extra bacon fat in there, I probably won't do that. And there's the bacon fat right there. So it added like an inch worth in this jar. I'll close this off, the bottom of the jar and the side of it's all blecky. So I'm going to wipe the jar down and put it back in the fridge. And these jars are empty and I fill up with bacon fat for the first time. Holy crap, are they hot. thermometer out of here. This thing's not auto powering off. That's annoying. I'll tell you, Accurite. I have their thermometers. I have their outdoor weather stations. They suck. 2 of the weather stations broken after a year or 2 of use. One broke, I bought another. The temperature probes came with one of these and an outdoor one for your grill. And I cover it up, take it inside. The first one broke after a month. The second one broke after the first use. So I'm not happy with Accurite. If you're listening, Accurite, fix your product or send me some free stuff. Actually, I've never asked for free stuff, but when I spend $80 for a weather station, it only lasts 2 seasons, and it should last a lifetime, or 10 years anyway. And I think I'm still live. Yeah, looks like I'm still live. Yeah, I'll show you in all my glory. I actually just ordered new shorts last night. They were the ones I really like that I always buy because I like lots of pockets. Went on sale for 21 bucks. I've gotten them as low as 16 before. And I really like the Coyote Brown, which you can see my shorts here. But those aren't on sale. Those are 30 bucks a pop. So I bought the khaki color. I didn't want to. I want to keep Bio Coyote Brown, but I'd rather save $10 a pair. I have to buy all new clothes again because my 40s were too big, obviously. So I bought a bunch of 36s. And I bought large and extra large t-shirts. And my sister says, buy the medium, buy the medium. And I was reluctant, and I bought the medium. Well, guess what? Now the mediums fit me good. So I'm actually in. Let me see if I can show you without tripping over myself. I got a glare. There I am. So you can see it in my face. I just shaved my head nice and good today. Yeah, there's too much bacon fat in there. Sorry, same trouble. I am going to tear a little more of that bacon grease. But on the good side, I'm not throwing it away. I've actually had to throw away jug. I had so much of it, I had to throw it away because I don't use it fast enough. And, you know. Meh. So, let me see. Can we see that? Yeah. Alright. Never had bacon take so long as it does when it's in the frying pan, but you cannot deny the taste of bacon in the frying pan. It is good. Holy crap, that's a lot more. Alright. And I didn't make a mess this time, so that's good. So there you go. There's the bacon. So let's get started here. So I don't quite do the Kirby presentation. Kirby does a nice job showing his food. I'm a photographer at heart, but I'm a portrait photographer, not a food photographer. And I do some jewelry. I've done jewelry a couple of times. So there's that. Here's my sausage. I'll throw that in there. Very nice. I'm going to save this bowl. I'm not going to wash it because I'll probably dump everything in there. So normally I would be just doing this for the look so you can see what's going on here. So you got your ground beef, your sweet Italian sausage, and you cannot forget your bacon. So now that that's the money shot for the video, I'm going to mix all this in. I'm going to turn this way down, like what would be a simmer. And by the way, this, as you see it here, no carbs. So what I have done in the past is just, if you're going to do some people do the carnivore week where that all they eat is meat, no cheese, just beef, that's it, beef and water. You could just stop right here, and I've done that before. However, I find it lacks a little bit. And I'm not a big fan of cream cheese, but I have to tell you, you don't really taste it. So, and because this is more servings now, the cream cheese, which may have, it's got minimal. It's got less than 1 carb per ounce. So let's just say an ounce, so 4 carbs. Where now that this is going to be 8 or 9 servings, those carbs get spread out into more. So, there we go. There's that. Now, if you look for my original meat casserole video, I show what I did to make this. So, hey, Keto Mo, how are ya? Good to see ya. I probably don't have enough here. Unfortunately, I thought I had more than that, and I just spilled some. I wanted a 1/4 cup. And I'm not going to mix, so I'm going to fill this whole thing up. This is what, 2.5 cups, I think, this thing right here. So I'll have to make another batch today. I made some last time, but I guess it must have been the time before. But, you know, my brother does the same thing. For salad dressing, when I have my lunches, get back on that for a second, is I was doing Caesar. But when you buy these dressings, you want to make sure that they don't have sunflower oils or vegetable oils and processed stuff. And the only one, let me grab it, I could find, well, I go to BJ's for everything, is this Cardini's Caesar. And when you read the back, you start reading all this extra crap that's in there, soybean oil, and you want to stay away from that. So BJ's, they're out. A nice glass bottle. Lemon garlic. This is a dressing or a marinade, and I was using this for salad dressing. And it's pretty simple: water, avocado oil, lemon juice, concentrate, garlic, boom, and 110 calories per serving. And me, I end up using like 4 or 5 servings. So what I've been doing instead is I've been getting red wine vinegar, and the reason why is, maybe it's just a BJ's and a Costco thing, but when you buy red wine vinegar at the big stores, let me grab mine out right now. Sorry, balsamic vinegar. 1 tablespoon has 5 carbs. That's a lot. I've had some people tell me that the ones they've been buying has 1 carbs, but red wine vinegar, there's no label here, but when I scan it, no carbs, no calories, no nothing. So that's what I've been using, and then I'll spritz a little bit of olive oil on it. And I do it, now I started doing it in layers. It sounds overly complicated, but I'll put some salad down, the red wine vinegar, and spritz the olive oil, and maybe a little salt and pepper, and then I put on a second layer of salad because I have a pretty big salad. So right now, this is pretty well mixed in. So, next steps. I should have cut open my cream cheese already. I did not do that. And I could probably put it 8 ounces, but I'm only gonna keep it down to 4. So let me cut this bad boy in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's a little over, so right about here. Come on, there we go. And I will pack that in cellophane. And this is the messy part, because this is now defrosted, or it's room temperature, not defrosted. Is cutting this up. If you don't mind me asking, Keto Mo, are you from, did you see me first on Instagram, or was it Facebook, or you just YouTube and you started following me, yada yada? I think this is the first time I've seen you on a live chat, that's why I asked. And actually, I can split this up here. Alright. missed another comment. Mario, try lemon juice with olive oil. Add a little salt and pepper to make it. So yes, Kirby, my brother said the same thing. The problem I have with lemon is it gives me a little agita, so even lemonade. So I'm very careful about having anything with lemon. And while we're on the subject of agita, is I used to take 80 milligrams of Prilosec a day, and now I take goose egg. So I don't have heartburn anymore. I did have it the other day, and it could have been because it was my father's 80th. I bought the sugar-free barbecue sauce, and you know, obviously to ketchup the tomatoes, but this has 2 carbs per 2 tablespoons. So basically 1 carb a tablespoon. This stuff tastes awesome. It's I got it at the supermarket, but it's sugar-free barbecue G. Hughes, and they have a bunch of different kinds. All right. So we got more of that. So now we got like quite a bit in there from today. And what I like about this now is I use this for a lot of different things. I'll make tacos with this. So I'll either make, and I have a video out on that. Oh, piece of bacon, I'll eat this. Yum, yum. I'll take 2 ounces of Colby Jack, and I have 6-inch parchment paper rounds. I put them on it on a big pan in the oven. I heat that up, and then once it's heated up and all melted, I drape it over a taco holder. And I'll have cheese shells. And then you can stick them back in the oven and heat them even more at that point. And then also I'll get, you can get romaine hearts, but if you can find Boston or butter lettuce and they look like a taco shell. And that's another thing I do to make tacos. And then I'll throw cream cheese on it. And I buy these by the case at BJ's, they're the sliced up pearls. So speaking of which, a can opener. No, didn't want to do that can. Try that again. Nice little piece of bacon. Yeah. So, as mentioned, my brother said to drain the tomato liquid out of here, which actually would lower it'd be less liquidy, plus you get rid of some of the carbs from the tomato. It's not a lot in there, but I don't need that extra moisture in there. All right. Oh, Jesus, I never had that happen before. Alright. I think before, for one of the pictures I did, I had the 3 meats laid out, and then the cream cheese, and then the tomatoes, so it made a nice picture. But you can see here, now the Rotel's going to have a lot of sodium in it, but when I used to make my queso, I'd have a big block, like 16 ounces of Velveeta, then a can of Rotel, and then also a can of Hormel chili with no beans. But you take a look at this. This is like 19 grams per serving. So this has got 40 grams, and I could pound down a whole thing of queso myself. So I'm looking at queso alternatives. I found a few, not happy with the recipe, so I'm going to be working on my own concoction. Someone just said it. I have lemon juice. I tried it. I had it on some ribs. Yeah. How'd you like it, Kirby? I made it for my father's 80th birthday last weekend. So I did some with barbecue sauce, some with my homemade hot sauce, which I think I got the recipe on one of my videos out there when I did the chicken wing video, and then some plain, and then some with this barbecue sauce. That way with the plain, people can do whatever they want with it. Yeah, it looks good, huh? I haven't eaten since last night. I had to go to my parents, help my father out, and so I think I had keto meatloaf at about, I don't know, maybe 8 o'clock? 7 o'clock, excuse me. 7:30. I finished eating at 7:30. Yeah, it's kind of tough, Kirby, especially you. You're, basically what? A chef at heart anyway, right? Or a chef. So, people say don't trust a skinny chef. That's what someone said to me when I started losing the weight. But now the thing about the cream cheese is it doesn't, it takes a while to melt up completely. So there's going to be some parts of this that are going to have a lot more cream cheese than others. Probably if I had left it out, maybe even heated it up to melt it up. But that's it. Look at that right there. Trying to think what else I have to make. So I haven't eaten yet. I haven't had anything to eat in since 7:30 last night. So 12, 17, 19 hours. So it'll be like a 20-hour fast that I will be doing. But I need some water. Can't forget to drink your water. Drink lots of water, folks, if you're on keto. My sister gave me this electrolyte powder. This stuff is $35 a container. I forget how many servings it is. 45. And but I think we're gonna start going to. You get a gallon of water, throw in a tablespoon, I think it is, of pink Himalayan salt, and very similar results. And pink Himalayan salt is what? You can get a freaking gallon of it for $20. So I was doing that, but I might start doing it again. So this, I'm gonna turn down the heat. This looks awesome. Now this is where my anal retentiveness is gonna kick in, folks. So I'm warning you now. The stove is easier to clean. That's why I'm kind of want to keep to the stove here. I'll just wipe everything down. I'm gonna start weighing everything out. I'll make my taco dressing later. I got this scale on Amazon for $5 on sale at Christmas time. I bought 2 of them. $5, pretty simple. Turn it on, and we're gonna do 6 ounces per. So it's on grams right now. So it does grams, pounds, pounds and ounces, or just ounces or milliliters. So I'm gonna go back down to ounces. Now this weighs like 5.5 ounces. So once it gets to, 1.5 ounces. So once it gets here, I can zero it out. And this is where I start putting and be very specific about getting 6 ounces per container. So this is going to be a lot of repetitiveness, and I'm going to be adding and removing. Let me get this closer to that. And I am going to be very picky, so you're going to see me go like this and take out food. There you go. There's the first of many. Tupperware sticking together. Now, this is real Tupperware. I'm not a fan of it. But, all right, 1, 2 healthy scoops, and then usually I go from there. Yeah. Yeah, I'll throw in a couple pieces of bacon. Now we're good. Number 2. Let's see if somebody's saying something. The chicken breast is thin, isn't it? Yes. And I could too, but 1 piece of chicken is probably 3 ounces, and that's what I try to limit myself to, although I have done 4 ounces because I'll be cutting it all up and then putting it with the salad, and the key is to have a crap load of salad. Sometimes I think the scale hits something and it goes off. See how that did that? All right. Like I said, this is where the anal retentiveness in me kicks in. So now I think at one time I tried doing 8 ounces, but it was too much, and 6 ounces isn't enough. But you know, I'm doing this without cheese, so I'll add in the cheese later, and you know, an ounce of cheese roughly. Okay. BJ's had a pack of these. They're like a light green on sale for $8 for a ton of them. So I like these ones right here because it heats up faster and cheese gets on it. So these aren't as good for that, but it's easy to put the top on. So here's where I screwed up. I got, oh, my new shirt, because I forgot to zero this out because this weighs a little differently. This is like 2 ounces, 1 ounce versus 2. Yeah. All right. So I just got stuff all over my new shirt, my pants, and everything. Close enough. I think I got 7 servings last time, so let's see what I get this time. I did lose some of the meat in the, that was actually a tall container, that one. And I didn't even think about that when I did that. So, let me remeasure. Okay, so I did do that. So 515. So I used that bigger container. That bigger container is heavier, so it probably is a little short some meat. So I'm gonna top that off. Take this bacon off the side. 605. And 607. That's good. So right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I thought I had more containers than that. That's one of the older style containers. That should weigh the same. It's interesting that the new containers are 1 ounce and the older ones are 1.25 ounces. So that's why I like to weigh out the containers before I start. So last time I think I said I had 7 servings, and I assumed there would be about 8 servings. And when I made the 7 last time, there was about 2 or 3 ounces left over. So here you go, 8. And we are going to find out how much is left over here. So I got this here. And that's 13 ounces, so I'm gonna just put all this meat in there. That's almost 3.5 ounces. Some Mexican cheese here, so I'll have to scan this in, and I don't think I need the full ounce, but let me zero that out. I put way too much there. Yes, so Digital Watcher, I have done it with green peppers and onions and stuff like that as well. The Rotel keeps, and I don't go through peppers and onions that much, so I'm going to heat this up little bit to melt that cheese up. Oh, the wrong button. And now the fun begins. Actually, these won't be too bad. Closing this up. Glad I bought these new containers because apparently I don't know where the other ones are. They've all been eaten by monsters or something. These here are a pain in the butt. They don't seal right. Oh, they're a pain to seal. It's like the bigger than the other ones. The covers are smaller, whatever. Now, one thing I forgot to do, which I was going to consider doing, is cook up the thin pork chops I had there. And I was going to put that in the casserole as well, but that's all right. I will cook them up, though. Maybe not on this picture here. There we go. There we go. We got 8 containers of that. We have this right here. Let me just get myself a little straightened out over here. Okay, so this is about, I think I said 3.45, so just over half a serving. But when I put this in the calculator, I included with an ounce of cheese per. So, and I have to adjust the cheese because it was set for 7. So that means that I'll have to do them separately and add the cheese. So this is, I think I said it was 3.2. Let me tell you. I don't want you to call me a liar later. Come on. Oh, I think I froze. Am I froze? Nope. Like I said, in this case now it's like 3.2 carbs. And I'm verifying that right now. Meat casserole, 2.4 carbs. However, I have half as much, so, but I have more cheese, so I'll say 1.4 carbs. What I have right here, 509 calories will be a full serving, so let's say about 250, 275 calories, maybe 15 in fat and 20 in protein. But I'm gonna have more than this. It's good, extra cheesy. So during, ooh, bacon spilled. That'll be a tragedy. I'm looking at my clean shirt. Oh, what was? I think I left extra bacon fat in here because I can really taste it. So let me get back to the main video. So these are just 2 things that I have for the week. And the chicken. And like you were saying, I could eat this in one sitting. But the key is to just moderation, 3 to 4 ounces. Because yesterday I started to say, I had the salad for lunch, and then on my way to parents, I keep baggies of peanuts in my car, 1 ounce measured out in just little cheap bags. And the problem I have is I just don't eat 1 bag. So I had 2 bags of those on the way down. My sister's working on her version of Keto pizzellas, very good. So she gave me a few and I had those. Then I helped my father, and then I had the meatloaf that my mother had made. So I could have had that too. And I have made that meatloaf on video for both regular and keto versions. Yeah, so, well, keto is considered, I think it's like a 70% fat, 20 or 25% protein, and like 5% carbs. But as long as you keep your carbs under 20 and you follow guidelines, there's a good keto calculator I use out there for to figuring out my macros. I use my Fitness Pal because I can scan the barcodes and do recipes, and there are other ones that do that too. And some people complain that I talk with my mouth open while I'm doing a video. That's what happens. And I've got yeah, it was very cheesy. It was very good. The whole days it's less than 20 carbs you want to intake. Yeah, I never go over 20 carbs. Except for my own birthday, I went over 20, I believe. However, if you've been on keto for a while and you've stalled and you're not losing weight and you get discouraged, sometimes what you have to do is you can do a couple of things. You can go on a 24 or 48 hour fast. Some people do 72 hours to break the cycle. Also, I had a big pig out on Sunday for my father's birthday. I mean, I had like 3,000 calories or something. I had some keto ice cream. I had a regular piece of cake because that's what I do for our special occasion birthdays and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I'm in for it. It was like 2 pounds that I had to lose that week extra because I went up 2 pounds. So sometimes they say break the cycle with the fast, and I was talking to my brother and even Thomas DeLauer. Sometimes you gotta shock your system, shock your body, and that like you might pop. Maybe you'll pop out of ketosis, or maybe you'll slow it down. But you have that big feast, then you fast, and then boom, all of a sudden you start losing weight again. And that's what I did, and I'm 158 pounds. I can't imagine. That's 85.4 pounds or whatever I said earlier. I looked up bread in general. 1 slice is, yeah. When I worked in Boston, I'd buy lunch every day, and once a week I'd probably get a sub. It was like 25 carbs for a sub roll. Then they call it a small. It's like this big. And I was like, wow, I'll get a wrap. Why not? Less bread. No. It's like 28 to 30 carbs for that wrap. So I wasn't doing myself any favor, and the wrap doesn't fill you up as much. So it's better off sticking with the sub roll. But I've made fat bread, and it's not the same as bread. And Aldi, ALDI is a store that sells like 1 carb bread or 0 carb bread. But I'm also hearing a lot of unnatural things about it, that it could kick you out of ketosis if you're eating it a lot. So you sparingly, read the ingredients. If you see artificial this, artificial that, it's like Evo, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, salt, pepper, vinegar, simple recipes. But if you still can't stop pronouncing some of these words they have, beware. That's all. So you weigh 244.4. Let me see if I can't bring up the chart I had. Hopefully I don't lose signal, because that's what happened last time I did this. I don't know if you can see it. This is just showing part of it, but I was 244.4 at my highest. I am now at 158.8, so I've lost 85.6 pounds. and 2.6 pounds over yesterday, but it's 2.4 pounds down from last week. And by last week, I mean last Sunday. So from last Sunday, I'm down another 2.4 pounds. All last week, I was on, I had to drop my daughter off, so I only got a half an hour jog, so I was doing about 4.25 K or 4.5 K per day last week, and I had been doing 7K up to that point. I've only been jogging 3 months now. This week will be 3 months. So today, I stuck with about 5.25 K, which just over 3 miles, like 3.2 miles. And then I'm hoping to go back up to 7K now that I can go out jogging a little longer. But I also did weight exercises, and I also worked on my lawnmower to fix that, and I also mowed the lawn. So I was very busy. That's why Saturday I do make sure I fast and I do my weigh-in before I eat, which is just now. If I had just weighed myself, I weighed myself 3 hours ago, I might even have been less. I might have been 158.6, who knows, because I was running around the whole time. So, you know, that's that. Let me try and make sure I'm not missing anything here. Here we go. Oh my God, jog too. Yeah, I started that June 23rd. And the first time I went jogging, I got like a block and a half, and I had to stop, and I started walking. I jogged another little bit and stopped. And then the next 2 days I couldn't jog because my knee, it felt like it was gonna bend the opposite direction. So I stopped for 2 days. And then when I went back to jogging, guess what? I started going non-stop. So I started at about 3K, I think it was, or just short of 3K, somewhere around there. I think it's like, 3K is like 1.8 miles. Everybody goes in Ks, so that's how I try to do it. And then I started increasing, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And last week I did, the week before I did 8K a couple of times. And I said to myself, I could push myself to do 10K. Like after a week of doing 7K, getting back to 7K, I bet you I could do it. Also, I'm a slow runner. I never ran before. So embarrassingly enough, you know, I used to walk a 14, 15-minute mile when I was younger, you know, 30-something years ago. And now I'm slow, and so now I'll admit what the times were. I've been doing minute miles in the 10-minute range. If you are in the Army, you're expected to run an 8-minute mile. The good guys, really good runners, can do a 6-minute mile from what I've read. I haven't had anyone say it, but I kind of looked it up. But I'm 50, and so 10 seconds, and I don't know what it was. I took a different route. The route I take for 8K, there's a lot of slight gradual hills, and if I go the opposite directions, a lot of steep hills at that point, but it's harder on my knees, so I don't do that. You hurt yourself more likely going downstairs or downhill. And the road I took to do the 4K was more level grounds, so that might be why I broke into the 10s. So I think it's like 10 minutes, 23 seconds per mile. Yeah, not very fast, but for me, I'm happy with that. I can live with that. And now I'm doing the exercise bands. I didn't do it at all last week because I just had to be ready to go at like 5:30. So I did it today, and it gets hard sometimes, and you know, you miss your foods. What I'd love to chow down on a big bag of BJ-sized Doritos, oh, you betcha. Where I like to snack in between. But the Rebel ice cream, that helps. I don't have a container. But the new chocolate Rebel is 4 carbs for the entire pint. It used to be 6 carbs. The vanilla is 5 carbs. The new one is still 5 carbs, I think. And then they have like a triple chocolate that's 6. They have cookie dough, which I'm not a big fan of. But the cookie dough has chocolate chips in it, or chocolate chips of some sort, and the cookie dough. I'm not a fan of the cookie dough itself, but the chips are okay. I wish they would have that vanilla with chips in it. And they have mocha chip, which family members really like that. My wife really likes the mint chip, but now they've introduced strawberry, and they have another one. It's called like toffee chocolate, or something. It's like cotton candy, not toffee something or whatever. I can't remember what it was. But they don't have that locally. It's a new flavor, so I have to either order a case of it online, or 2 cases if I want free shipping, or wait it out to see what it is. The only place that carries it near me is Shaw's, and they're the smallest one, like in the district. I was talking to the manager, I was saying, can you get these other flavors? And he's like, we're the smallest one in the district. So you gotta find these bigger Shaw's. Market Basket carries it. Star Market, Stop and Shop does not, from what I understand, just yet. What else? So again, interesting journey. Um, you know, it's some people are having a really hard time sticking with the keto, and it's understandable. Um, and I knew I wasn't ready to start losing weight. Back history, when I graduated high school, I was 183 pounds, and I wasn't a happy guy. I was 17, 183 pounds. I was heavy. Come hit January, I hit 185 pounds. I said, that's it. I used to drink a lot of milk by the gallons. I stopped drinking milk, went to Diet Coke, which wasn't a good thing either. Stopped eating bread for I lost 15 pounds the first week, and I went from 185 down to 132.5 pounds. Then I went up a little, and then I dropped to 132 again. And I was 132 for the longest time, and I was always keeping busy. My race car that I built, I was always outside working on it, tweaking it. And at one point I got, when the season was over, a couple of years later, I was at 147, but I was still very skinny, and some people say looked unhealthy, but I was eating. I would go to Burger King after my workout and get a Whopper with no onions and an onion ring and a Diet Coke. You know, and then over time I got to 167, that was a good weight. Then I was working out, joined a gym for a year, and I had a Bowflex used, maxed out weight, you know, and I was 185 pounds, but I was working out and I was stronger. But then I stopped working out in 2006, and my, sorry, let me correct me out of order. Putting out the center, paying off, try someone sprinkle over the vanilla, could move you. So I've been using this stuff. It's people call it cinnamon toast crunch, and I use that in my foods. You know, and in 2006, when I really stopped working out, that's when the weight slide came on, and in March of 2009 is when I hit my highest weight ever of 200 pounds. And it's mostly because I wasn't working out. So, you know, over time, and I always said to myself, when I hit 185 pounds just after high school, I said, I will never let this happen to me again. But I let it happen to me again. I was at 185 pounds for that long time, but you stop moving around, you don't go around as much, you have a family, you have a kid, you know, it's not like you could just leave on a whim and just go start walking around everywhere and do whatever. It's harder at that point. And people would say, just start on a diet, and I knew I wasn't ready, and I knew if I started, I'd get discouraged and stopped. But something clicked January 15th, 2019, and I started getting healthier, and in 2 weeks I dropped 15 pounds, and and then it just kept going, and I stopped drinking caffeine last year, December 2018. Just one day I had one can in the morning, I says that's it, and it was rotting my stomach, and that was causing a lot of my stomach issues. And you know, my brother had bought one of those beds you can elevate, you know, for his stomach. And he says that isn't what fixed his stomach problem. He stopped eating all these breads, and that really helped him. So I said, okay. So I went from 240 milligram tablets a day. When I stopped drinking Diet Coke, I went to 3 every 2 days roughly, so 1.5 a day, whatever. And then I stopped drinking the Coke. So now I don't do anything. I have gotten it before, and I have Tums, although I don't like having Tums because it's 2 carbs. And so, you know, I'm hoping that I can continue doing what I'm doing. And I'm going to have cheat days, like, you know, Sunday, my father's 80th. You know, what did I have? I had a piece of my Betty Crocker bundt cake, which is my favorite cake to have like that. And I had a couple of spoonfuls of, it was like Carvel ice cream cake. You know, it has little sprinkles. I had a bite of my wife's, and then a pizzella, a regular pizzella. And it was very good. It satisfied me, but I was sick the next day. Overnight, I thought I was going to throw up because the sugar didn't sit well for me, and that's what they say. Once you're in ketosis and you start eating that junk food, it's going to have an effect on you. So I've gotten a lot of support from, you know, family, friends, and people on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and Google Plus at the time. They're now defunct. It says you're doing great, keep it up, and I'm doing my best to keep it up because I don't want to fail again. I can't fail again. I won't fail again. I'm going to keep pushing. I don't want to, in fact, I probably want to gain some weight now, but I'm going to start working out more with the weights and build muscle. You know, I got that flabby skin there, unfortunately, and I've had stretch marks since I was a little kid because as a kid I was a stick. I was always hot, even when I was very skinny. I never had a jacket on in the wintertime, and never had it up until now. I'm starting to feel colder, especially when you're jogging at 5 o'clock in the morning. My hands get cold, so I bought a thin pair of gloves to wear on. But I also think I'm just not used to the cold weather right now, so I'll buy myself another light jacket because all my clothes, my 40s, gotta go all the way. My 36s I bought now are no good. And the 34s, I got 34s on, more 34s on the way. So I'm hoping I stay around that 34. And, you know, I keep going. Because, you know, you're 50, you're not getting any younger. You know, my doctor told me, and I apologize for the rambling, when I was gaining weight, she said, for every pound overweight you are, for every pound, I think she said it adds like 10 pounds of deflection to your knee. Think about that. When I was 185 versus 244.4, so let's just say 245. So 45, 55, 60 pounds. 600 pounds of deflection in a serious case. So, you know, she was surprised she saw me. I didn't tell her I was doing keto because a lot of these doctors, I'm talking to people, they don't understand it. They're like, oh, no. It's bad cholesterol, bad this, bad that. I've had high cholesterol since the day I was born. And at one point it was at like 300. And keto, I've never had lower cholesterol. I wish I could show you, but my LDLs dropped, my trigs dropped tremendously, like 70, 80 points. And that was from July to July, like July 2018 to July 2019, but I only had done keto 7 months, and it dropped like a rock. So I can only hope and assume that it's going to get even better, and I'll be good. No more medicine. I'm not taking vitamins, you know, because they say vitamins, you know, minerals is what you want, they say. Plus the vitamins have carbs, right? So just eat healthy. And someone I work with said something once. He goes, you don't need pills. That's nothing a good diet and exercise can't, you know, overcome. So, let's see, congrats. Digital, what kind of work gives you that freedom to jog, may I ask? You've got to get yard done later. So, I apologize, I didn't see that. I've worked for the same company 21 and a half years. They now have a work from home program, and I'm one of the lucky few because I'm a hard worker. Work my ass off days, nights, weekends. But I get up at 4:45, I jog, and I shower and get to work or whatever. So I work in Boston when I have to go in. But you got to get up real early in the morning, and right now it's pitch black in the morning. And I've had to jog in the afternoon once or twice, like after dinner, but at that point it's like you're kind of in for the night. So I came in, and if I'm going to do weight workout, like, you know, resistance, I'll jog less and do the workout. Otherwise I like to get 7K in. But, you know, you got to make the sacrifice, right? Get up earlier, or don't watch that TV program, you know, whatever it takes, right? You got one body, and when it's gone, you're gone. So thank you, Digital Watch. I apologize. What time does it say you made that comment? 3:02. So hopefully you got that down. It says down to 3. So there's probably 2 of you left listening. So thank you. I rambled on quite a bit. My lives, typically I only do an hour. However, I'm gonna bet this is an hour and 38 minutes. So thank you. I don't expect many people to watch this, but it's something I want to get out. And one thing I forgot to say, you know, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell so you know when I put out a new video. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. If you used an air fryer during this episode, unplug it. I didn't, but my stoves are off. But I got a big mess to clean up. Thank you. And remember, folks, if I can do it, you can do it. Have an awesome weekend. Thank you.